Throughout history, certain families have wielded influence that transcends national borders, economic systems, and generations. The Rothschild family represents perhaps the most fascinating case study in how financial strategy, combined with geographic diversification and strategic marriages, can create a lasting empire. Today, we're exploring the architecture of their rise to power and what made their approach fundamentally different from every other banking family of their era. If you're fascinated by hidden history and untold financial strategies, please subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the systems that shape our world. Now, let's begin. The story starts in Frankfurt, Germany, in the 1800s. Mayer Amschel Rothschild was a money changer and dealer in rare coins. He didn't inherit wealth or noble titles. Instead, he inherited a mindset about financial strategy that would outlast empires. Mayer understood something crucial. Access to powerful people creates access to capital. He began strategically lending to nobility and European courts, building relationships that would prove invaluable. But Mayer's real genius wasn't in the lending itself. It was in what he did next. Rather than keep his wealth concentrated in one location, he sent his 5 sons across Europe. One son went to Vienna, another to Paris, another to London, and still others to different financial centers. This wasn't random. This was calculated geographic diversification across every major European power. Each son established a banking house bearing the family name. Vienna, Paris, London, Naples, and Frankfurt became nodes in a financial network that operated across national boundaries. When trade routes shifted or political alliances changed, the Rothschild network could adapt instantly because they weren't dependent on any single nation's success. This was revolutionary thinking for the 1800s. The network's power became truly visible during the Napoleonic Wars. While nations were bankrupting themselves funding military campaigns, the Rothschilds possessed something more valuable than armies: information networks. They had couriers traveling between their offices faster than official government channels. They knew which way wars would turn before governments did. This information advantage translated directly into investment advantages. Nathan Rothschild, based in London, became legendary for allegedly learning about the British victory at Waterloo before official channels announced it. Whether the exact story is true or not, the principle is accurate. The Rothschilds could move capital and make strategic investments based on information that gave them a genuine edge. Speed and knowledge were their weapons, but understanding their strategy requires looking beyond the mythology. The Rothschilds didn't succeed purely through secrecy or manipulation. They succeeded because they operated within a framework that other families didn't fully grasp. First, they maintained absolute family unity. Major decisions required consensus among brothers and cousins. This prevented reckless bets that could destroy the entire enterprise. Second, they married strategically within their own extended family, keeping wealth and control consolidated. Marriages were treated as strategic alliances, not romantic ventures. Third, and perhaps most importantly, they understood that banking in the modern era meant having legitimate relationships with governments. They didn't hide their influence. They advertised it. When you're an official lender to the Bank of England, the Austrian Empire, and the French government simultaneously, you're not operating in shadows. You're operating in plain sight, where your power is so normalized that it becomes invisible. The Rothschilds pioneered a strategy that modern institutional investors still use today: diversification across geographies, currencies, and asset classes. A downturn in one nation was an opportunity in another. When England faced financial pressure, the Rothschilds had capital from their Vienna operations ready to deploy. This wasn't sophisticated modern portfolio theory. It was simple common sense applied ruthlessly across an entire continent. Their strategy also involved something that seems obvious now, but was revolutionary then: reinvesting profits back into the business rather than consuming wealth. Many wealthy families of that era treated their fortune like an inheritance to be enjoyed. The Rothschilds treated it like a seed to be planted. Every generation received more capital to work with than the generation before. Compound growth, sustained over a century, creates something that looks like magic to outsiders, but is actually pure mathematics. The Rothschild approach created a family office structure before that term even existed. They weren't running a bank. They were running a family fortune. The bank was simply the vehicle. This distinction matters tremendously because family offices operate with a completely different time horizon than banks answerable to shareholders. They can think in terms of decades and centuries rather than quarters and years. They can take strategic positions that won't pay off for 10 or 20 years because they're not pressured by quarterly earnings reports. This legacy persists today. Modern wealth management for ultra-high net worth families still follows principles that the Rothschilds essentially invented. Diversification across borders, currencies, and asset classes. Keeping wealth within the family structure. Employing professional managers while maintaining family control over strategy. Investing in both conventional assets and alternative investments. These aren't secrets. They're open strategies documented in countless investment books. The Rothschild strategy was successful not because it was hidden, but because it was executed with ruthless discipline over generations. If this exploration of hidden financial architecture has provided value, please like this video. And tell me in the comments, what aspect of long-term wealth building do you think modern investors most often get wrong? And your insights genuinely shape what we explore next. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more investigations into the systems that shape history and finance.